Happy Easter afternoon, morning, whichever it may be. What's up? Just getting on for a little bit, catching up on some of these other cases. Normally can't cover throughout the week. Good morning, good afternoon. Be on tonight with Stephen Smith's evidence episode. So if you're into the Stephen Smith mysterious death and cover-up, make sure to come back tonight for that episode. It's going to be all about the evidence. It is going to be graphic, just as a heads up. So if anything graphic is triggering, you might want to skip that show. Good morning, Pam. Good morning, Butterfly. Happy Easter. What's up, G? How you doing today? Thanks for hopping in. Happy Easter to you as well. And I feel you. I am decent amount away from any of my family, so I totally feel you on being alone today. A mix of terrier. Miss having a puppy. What's up, Cassie? Happy Easter. We'll just be on for a little bit earlier today. Try and catch up with some of the stuff I haven't got to, and I probably won't get to till next weekend. We got a lot of episodes coming up this week, so. We got Delphi, we got Idaho 4, we got Stephen Smith. Happy Easter, Jinx. Speaking of Jinx, I'm thinking Thursday's going to be a Delphi night, if you'd like to hop in for that. Probably be doing Idaho 4 tomorrow, Stephen Smith tonight. And I'm sure Tuesday will be busy too. I just haven't decided what I'm going to cover on that night yet. Happy Easter. Oh, yeah. Any night you'd like to hop up, you're more than welcome, Jinx. I always appreciate you being on panel. Stephen Smith evidence tonight, Idaho 4 tomorrow. Probably going to have Silky Southern Tea on Thursday as well, and probably Justice Serve Daily Thursday night joining me with the Delphi conversation. A lot of information. Good stuff. Grandbaby Blue. Oh yeah, let me show this. Let's see. How can I? Let me see something here. Can you send that to me on Discord, Cassie, or did you send it on Discord? Let me check. Yeah, if you can send me that one. from, yesterday or the day before. That was such a cute picture. What's up, Ruckus Rocks? How you doing? She slept for 8 hours last night. Holy crap. Happy Easter. No, I just checked Discord, Cassie. It was so cute. I was like, "Wow, now she's already learning how to pose, huh?" 8 hours. Yeah, I'll be covering, tonight I'm gonna be doing Stephen Smith's evidence episode. Tomorrow night I'll be doing Idaho 4. Tuesday, I'm thinking Valo, but I'm not pinning that down yet. Thursday's probably gonna be Delphi, and then probably a hangout on Friday night. So yeah, anybody's more than welcome to join on any of those nights. Oh no, I was actually because I had reached out to like 5 different people, and I'm like, man, I really want to have a hangout night. So it was all good. That shit was fun as hell last night. Yeah, all you teamed up on me. All of you. All of you did. Yes, here it is. Give me 1 second. Oh, this is such. Give me 1 second. Whoa. Oh, it won't let me like zoom it a little bit. All right. Here, let me share this real quick. She, it's like she's posing. It's crazy. 2 months old, Cassie. 2 months old. Pam. Uh, I'm used to it. As of right now, for Delphi on Thursday, it's probably gonna be Silky, Justice, Jinx, and myself. But anybody's more than welcome. I got 10 tables at this chair. Thanks, Ruckus. I appreciate it. Yeah, they tore me up last night. I know. I was like, shit, where's Grizz at, too? She is. Look at that. She's like posing already. She even got the fish lips. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's morning. I just woke up a little bit ago. I I used to when I lived in Northeast Ohio, uh I always would say, what was it? Uh I'd always say, hey, I need some ice to throw down on the salt. Yeah, she's such a cutie. Just posing already. I can't believe it though. 2 months. 2 months already. Yeah, anybody's I always have an open panel every night. Unless I'm doing something where I totally gotta do it solo, but most of the time, um, if it does happen, it's with the Stephen Smith stuff. But even with that, I still appreciate everybody's thoughts and opinions and stuff. So it'll be open. Anybody's more than welcome to join tonight. Be going through all the evidence, some parts of the full report that just don't make sense. But as a heads up, it will be a graphic episode, so I want to make sure everybody understands that. Yeah, I think it was November, December. It was shortly after SRB. Hey, how's Liberty doing? Or Libby, I'm sorry. Hope she's doing good. What's up, Skittles? Thanks for hopping up last night. Yeah, thanks for hopping up. That shit was fun. I got to figure out the audio stuff on Jackbox. We'll get that figured out soon. Probably dig into it next weekend. Try and learn that OBS shit. You're fine, Butterfly. Phone was not charging. It's all good. It's all good. I know what you mean though, because I have to have a one of those portable charge blocks hooked up to my phone when I'm doing my show. Otherwise, my phone just blew. But I have my phone up for the chat feed. That way I can try and catch everything while we're watching stuff. I'm working on a new webcam angle too, or possibly maybe having two for two different angles. So I did a little bit of work on it earlier. I can't get it to get steady. So once I figure out a way to get it steady, I have to have it actually like hanging over my monitor with something else because it's way too far away. So I'm trying different things. Yeah. Great show, by the way. Let me throw up some links real quick here. And I run. Let me see. Go ahead and give this gentleman a sub. And I'll go ahead and throw out the links of all the people I was talking about as well. Ruckus Rocks podcast. Justice Served Daily. Was on her show yesterday for a little while. Great show yesterday, JSD. Silky Southern Tea. And let me see here. Cassie. Ooh, I need to put your web link up there too for your store. There you go. There's Cassie's. And a link to her Color Street products that she does. And I'm going to throw up Kevin Kraft up there too. Always very supportive of the show. He's got his own woodworking link that you can click on too. Kevin Kraft. And I enjoy his YouTube streams too. Something different, different than the true crime stuff. He does his woodworking stuff, and it's always relaxing. I want to throw Grizz up there. Thank you for the intro, buddy. Wow, 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 wow. And thank you for hopping in. Yeah, I'm just going to be covering some things that I probably wouldn't be able to until next weekend, just with all the shows we got coming up this week. So I'm just going to be kind of hanging out, going through some of the different stuff we haven't even talked about. If you'd like to hop up, you're more than welcome. I'm going to open up panel. And if there's a certain case or topic you'd like to talk about, you're more than welcome. Happy Easter, JSD. And then we'll get into this grab bag. Let's see if there's anything breaking real quick. Man, that Letitia is just crazy. Oh, there's this tribute band that doesn't get enough love, and I came across them just kind of rolling through some rock documentaries one time, and I was like, damn, this tribute band's pretty damn good. Now, I don't know if I'll get in trouble for showing it, but fuck it, I'm gonna try it. Give me 1 second here. If you like Nirvana. Ruckus, I noticed I was on your channel the other day. I noticed you do some rock music. Is it cool if I play some of your shit too, if you'd like me to? So this is a band called Nirvana. Here, let me get their YouTube channel real quick so I could share that. All right. So this is Nirvana. Because I love tribute bands. Whoops. There we go. This is their YouTube channel. They only have 212 subs. I don't understand. Maybe they just created it or something, but um, I used to go to tribute band concerts all summer long. I'd probably be going to 10, 12 of them. I used to go to them all the time. I just love tribute bands, and I love supporting them too. And this is one that I came across because I watch a lot of different documentaries. I was watching some rock documentary on Nirvana and came across this. It was actually another video, but I came across it and I was like, usually I'm checking them out and I'm like, but man, I came across this one and every time it was like uh, a whole performance at a club, and I just kind of skipped through here and there, you know, uh, just to check out how they did with each song or whatever. And I was like, damn, each one was fucking awesome. So I don't know if I'll get in trouble, but I do want to kind of show this. Let me see. This one might be kind of hard to hear. Pretty damn good, honestly. I would definitely go see that band. But yeah, Nirvana, however they pronounce it. Definitely check out their YouTube channel. They got some really good stuff. I know that one might have been kind of hard to hear, but they have some at different clubs and stuff, and I totally enjoy them. I'll have to see if they're coming around at some point. I would love to go see them. Yeah, Ruckus, if there's a certain one you want me to throw up there, just let me know. Throw it up in chat, and I'll go ahead and hit it up. Let me see here. I just love live music. Love it. All right, let me get into this grab bag here. Happy Easter, everybody. And thanks for hanging out. It is just me by myself today. So they arrested 2 out of 3 in the Florida teen murders. I haven't got to watch too much on that. Yeah, I love that Nirvana band, Nirvana or whatever. Let me see. DoorDash delivery driver was a woman. Let me see here. Oh, speaking of Nirvana, 29 years later. Why are they? Why 29? Huh?
29 years ago today, Nirvana frontman Kurt Cobain was found dead in his Seattle home. But his king.
Speaking of, I want to put ATS News' channel out there. She did a great Kurt Cobain documentary a long time ago. And if you're in, I mean, I love ATS News. She's the queen of YouTube, in my opinion. Definitely go to her channel and sub if you're not. And if you're into Nirvana and stuff, definitely go. Her documentary that she did is a little over 2 hours. Top notch documentary.
Maddie White reports his legacy lives on in the Emerald City, even fostering a love connection when 2 fans met at his memorial bench.
This is his house in the back, and Kurt used to come here apparently to smoke cigarettes.
And cigarettes are among the items gifted to the Kurt Cobain Memorial Bench at Beretta Park this week.
To mourn Kurt.
But for one Seattle couple, it's something in the way Kurt gave back to them.
I got told that she wanted to meet me because I walked up the stairs here. And ever since then, I stayed in Seattle. And
yeah, she's awesome.
We had this baby because of Kurt Cobain. She loves her.
We tested that theory, and sure enough,
this is the other.
Aww.
This baby rocks.
She likes her.
Aww.
She was dancing.
Ain't that cute?
Smiling ear to ear.
Yes. The most grunge baby.
Oh
yeah.
crap! Don't get me shut down.
Yeah, you want a grunge story? This is it.
A living
Aww.
legacy of a man who was full of life.
Kurt Cobain was incredibly funny, dynamic. I made him in 2 color versions.
Karen Mason Blair is the rock and roll photographer.
Here
Oh
we are now,
wow, those look
entertain us, you know?
nice.
I mean, come on, you know.
As rare as it is to
Behind
have
these
a picture
famous
of
images of the
This is
Nirvana
even more rare
bandmates
to
in
be in.
Santa hats.
This is me and Kurt Cobain 30 years ago.
But even all these years later,
Look at this star. Look at him.
as a mental health crisis remains in our society, Blair says she believes Kurt would want us to continue destigmatizing it.
I mean, that's why he sings Come As You Are. He wrote a song about lithium. It's a thing. And we just need to talk about it as normal as insulin
Patty White,
or as a heart medicine.
King 5 News.
Oh come on, YouTube.
29 years ago today.
Oh, it's either StreamYard or YouTube. I don't know. I've been having issues with StreamYard these last 4 days too. Don't understand it. Yeah, she does. She has a great documentary. She covers all of the cases. ATS covers all of these cases with amazing effort. Class act. Let me see here. DoorDash delivery. So I'm going to check out. It's been a while since we watched Crime Story. Well, you know what? I'm going to save that for tomorrow night. Let me see here. That one's 30 minutes. 2 boys ages 12 and 17 were arrested. I don't know too much about that. I heard that when it came across. Now, this was the Isle of Palms shooting that we were talking about yesterday. It was crazy. We couldn't find any live feeds going on. And then that University of Oklahoma one, I guess that turned out to be a prank.
6 people in Charleston are still recovering today following a shooting at a nearby beach last night. Charleston police say it happened just after 5 p.m. on the Isle of Palms beach. 5 teens and 1 adult were shot while leaving the beach. They were all taken to the hospital. Nobody has been arrested in connection to the shootings. The five of the 6 victims were released from the hospital and are expected to recover.
It is devastating to me that we have a community anywhere where children are injured, where children are involved in violence, where children think it is okay to commit any violent act. It is not okay. It's not okay whether you're a juvenile, it's not okay whether you're an adult, but it's concerning and it breaks my heart.
One of the people injured in the shooting is still in the hospital tonight. It's unclear what their condition is at this time.
Yeah, send it to me. Send it to me, Jinx. I know, I love Nancy Grace. Some of her sayings that she has, shit cracks me up. It's the passion, though. It's the passion behind the cases. FBI seeks man who disappeared after bragging he stole from cartel. She does say what she does.
Border into Mexico. 1 person under arrest so far. News Nation correspondent Jorge Ventura joining us live with this. And Jorge, this American has been missing for more than 2 weeks now.
Yeah, Natasha, that's right. That Texas man, his name is Eric Tato Ramirez. He was
I like
allegedly
that
bragging
coat.
about stealing $50,000 from a Mexican drug cartel. Well, 2 hours later, he's gone. He was kidnapped.
2
and
hours
is still
later?
missing. Now, according to witnesses, they overheard Ramirez bragging on a phone call to an unknown woman at a house party on March 23rd in Laredo. He was bragging about stealing $50,000 from the Cartel de Noreste cartel in Mexico. After that, he was beaten up, taken by armed men and into Mexico. Now, according to witnesses, they actually arrived less than 2 hours later. The marked masked men, the assaulted Ramirez, according to the...
So he was bragging, and 2 hours later, they fucking show up and kidnap him? Damn.
Yeah, you can actually see the image of the home where the kidnapping took.
And that's crazy because all these Chinese fucking... We went over it last night. All these Chinese fucking companies trying to buy all this property up along the border in Texas. Man, shit's gonna get... Yeah, they're trying to buy up all the border land. Probably so then they, the people they sell their fentanyl to, they can just say, yeah, come on in.
Place now. You'll then cross into Nuevo Laredo, Mexico.
Okay, thank you,
makes
Jinx.
This case particularly unique, where you see a kidnapping on American soil and then brought into Mexico. This is particularly unique. A report also says that his face was bloody. He was actually attempting to escape the vehicle while it was driving. Authorities determined that vehicle was registered to the mother of John. Unique. A report also says that his face was bloody. He was actually attempting to escape the vehicle while it was driving. Authorities determined that vehicle was registered to the mother of Jonathan Carvalles. He is a suspect. Now, Carvalles reportedly told investigators he drove into Mexico with a kidnapped victim along with 3 other people, and that he was aware that Ramirez allegedly stole that $50,000 from Cartel de Noreste. The rest of the men, as of right now, are still remaining
Huh.
large. Carvelis is the only suspect right now that's been arrested in connection to that kidnapping. Now, he was detained by U.S. Customs and Border Patrol officials after he crossed back into the U.S. on March 27th with the same pickup truck that he committed the crime. He's right now the only
Wow.
individual charged with that kidnapping. We're still waiting for more
Wow.
details
Happy
on that.
Easter.
But pretty
Thanks for
unique
hopping in,
situation,
buddy.
Natasha, seeing this type of kidnapping take place from
You
American
rock,
soil
bro.
and into Mexico.
You rock, man.
Yeah, Jorge, and it's particularly concerning
Happy
that he was
Easter.
bragging on a phone call, not on social media or something like that. Do we have any details? Do we know if the arrested suspect is in fact a member of that cartel?
So that's what the FBI is still investigating, to see if Carvalho is a direct member of the cartel or just working for them. As of right now, investigators are
Wow.
continuing that investigation. Ramirez right now, there's still no whereabouts. We still haven't got an update situation from the FBI. They saying they can't comment on that investigation, but the three other men that were with Jonathan Carvalho that committed that kidnapping, they still remain at large, and it's suspected that those men are hiding out in Mexico right now. So Jonathan right now is the only one arrested. So we're finding out more information. But Natasha, this is a very unique case where you see a kidnapping on American soil and then a victim taken into a foreign country.
Okay, Jorge Ventura breaking
Wow.
that down for us. We appreciate it. Thank
Wow, that's freaking nuts. Bragging about it on a telephone call and then 2 hours later. Wow. That is crazy. Wow. I need to save that one. Holy crap. Okay, let me see. Oh yeah, let me get to that link. Thank you, Jinx. Let me see here. Butterfly, it's gonna be a graphic episode tonight. We're going into a lot of the injuries and all sorts of stuff. Let me see here. Part of Nancy Grace interview I'd never heard before. Interesting. Okay. Give me 1 second. I think I just subbed to this person actually a couple of days ago. Oh. Let me see here. Why is it? One second. For some reason, it's not letting me. Hold on 1 second. I think it's StreamYard. What the fuck is going on? Dude, StreamYard is fucking acting crazy. Let me save that for Thursday night. What's up, SRB? Happy Easter. I'm gonna save that for Thursday night, Jinx. Because I definitely want to check that out. And I would love to check that one out with all of us on open panel. Thank you for that link. I'm gonna add that for Thursday. Give me 1 second. StreamYard is acting. I hope it don't do this tonight. What is going on? Sorry, give me one moment here. I'm gonna refresh. I'm going to refresh StreamYard. I'll be right back. Because it's acting crazy. All right, there we go. Hopefully that'll be better. Okay. Back to this. See if anything's breaking real quick. I am not really seeing anything. I do want to start checking the live feed though because of all this other crazy crap that's going on. So let me check that. Let's see, that's the webcam. So that was a prank a couple days ago. Snake River. I don't know what that's about. All right, so we're good there. Happy Easter. Let me get back to this folder. That's crazy. Dude was bragging 2 hours before his kidnapping that I do need to find some Nancy Grace. I got some Nancy Grace stuff in here. Let me see. Something we're going to be having Stephen Smith evidence episode tonight. It will be graphic. As a content graphic trigger warning, it will be graphic. Tomorrow night we're going to be doing Idaho 4. Unanswered questions in the Scott Peterson case. Interesting. Let me add that to the bottom because I'm going to see what else. All right, so let me refresh. We'll go through these current cases coming up. Did you see the Albany kid? Send me a link if you have one, Butterfly. We'll be going through Stephen Smith evidence, the evidence tonight. Tomorrow night, Idaho 4. Tuesday night, depending on what's breaking news, it might be the Valo stuff. Thursday night, we'll probably be doing Delphi. And Jinx, I'm going to save that link for Thursday night. I think that'll be an interesting episode to kind of sit back and watch that with everybody up there. Nice. Yeah, I just got to make sure I keep letting everybody know it's going to be a graphic episode. But it's going to be the one episode we're going through the evidence, and then after that, unless we need to, we'll be done with the evidence until we get some kind of report from the autopsy. But who knows when that will be. Yeah. Have Silky on. I still have to. I'm thinking it should be cool. We'll have Silky on. Justice, if you'd like to be on. Jinx. Anybody else? Talking Delphi. Any night, really. Tomorrow night will be Idaho 4. Thank you. I appreciate that, Skittles. And I'm gonna be. She's amazing. And we'll be having a show. I'm trying to work something out here in the future. We just have to link up for a chat. I'm gonna have Grizzly on sometime. He's got his own rabbit hole for Delphi. So I'll be having a show featuring Grizz. We're gonna have Cold Truth back on for another episode. Working on something with Suzanne Andrews for another interview. Yeah, we got some shows coming up. I appreciate you saying that, Skittles. All right, let me get into this. Let's see. We might be checking that out here in a few. Let me see what else we got. Stuff to say for Idaho. Let's see here. The 10 craziest last meal requests from death row inmates. We're going to do that for a hangout show. Let's see. Doomsday, can't wait to stare down. What? Well, this is Lori Vallow. Let's see what this is about. Then we're going to get into that Florida shooting a little bit too.
Honestly, I felt for a little while that I was, from all the trauma of all this and not even knowing where the kids were yet, or even just all that, I was already traumatized. And then that just didn't even seem real. And then, and it was her arrogance that day was just, it was so infuriating. And
Are these the grandparents? Victim's grandma can't wait to stare down Lori. So the grandparents at JJ, sorry, I don't know much about this one. My mind was blown away when we talked about it and went through some stuff last week. I didn't know it was that in depth. I thought it was just the two children here. It's a whole frickin' group of people. Daybell, so I just want to stare her down. So what is she gonna go on this? What?
And then
because the trial's about to start and they're waiting for the trial to start. They weren't there for the jury selection? Thank you so much. You guys are so nice. Aw. I really appreciate your kind words.
And then I saw that picture and I never knew I had eyes like that, but I had people come up and say, I've seen those eyes before. I'm like, okay, I didn't even know I had eyes like that.
Oh, she
but
tried
I,
Oh, look at her laughing. What the heck?
That day was crazy amongst many others. But anyway, yeah, it was, her arrogance was so misplaced.
She was laughing. Why was she laughing?
And
it was insulting.
And she's still with the stuff in the court yesterday about being a grandmother, or whatever. She can, it doesn't matter if you call me grandma or Kay. It's just, I know what I was at JJ, and she can never take that away from me, ever.
Her attorneys can talk all they want, but we're still the grandparents.
Yeah. For me, here I am on trial. That's what it's going to be. But you know what I'm really looking forward to is, I don't know how,
They let you wear makeup? They let you wear makeup? Like, I don't know. Maybe that's crazy.
I don't know if I can get in trouble. I've got to find out. But in the courtroom, I just want to stare her down. I just want to stare her down and let her know that, she's not winning this one. She's not going to win this one.
The arc of justice tends to bend to the righteous. And when she sent it, I've read it. And I was so upset.
I guess maybe it's never stuck out to me before.
That the judge is making. And then yesterday was the most insulting day of all.
Why?
When the court, they said in court, her attorneys, Jim Archibald, said that we're not the grandparents. that it was absolutely the most insulting day, hurting day that I've had in this whole process. Because there's no two people on earth that love JJ more than
Aw.
Pam did. And look, we've got 16 grandchildren. We've got 8 great grandchildren. JJ was our only special needs child.
Well, it was like he was our baby.
He was our baby.
You know,
we brought him home. I put him in my coat, in my robe, and I bonded with him. And for somebody so insulting and who is just, that was the biggest insult in this whole case so far to me. For him to say that we're not his grandparents was absolutely the lowest point in his life. And then it wasn't long after that, I received this. The arc of justice tends to bend to the righteous. And after last night, I laid in bed and I thought about it, and I've read it over and over, and I've thought about it.
Wow, he seems calm as shit.
I feel like that the arc of justice will do the right thing in the end. That justice will prevail. I can't lose, and I will not allow anybody to try to tell me a difference.
Oh, wow.
And to make this that we're not the grandparents. Whoever dreamed that up and
who said they weren't the grandparents?
Got together to use that as a point in a contention in this.
The attorney?
Absolutely no heart and absolutely no soul.
Oh, so, oh crap. So they were told they weren't JJ's grandparents. Lori's attorney, Jim Archibald, made this statement. Why would he even make that statement? What's up? Happy Easter. Why would the attorney even make that statement? I don't understand that. Right, they both seem evil as fucking shit. Wow. Here, let me make sure I got that saved. Holy crap. So this is guns found. So this is about that Florida shooting. We'll get into some of Letitia in a minute too.
Talk to me right off the bat, though, about the possibilities of finding this 16-year-old. What do you know? How close are we? Have you got any leads?
Good evening, Ashley. Thank you for mentioning everything you did.
It's the law regarding victims and being able to witness. Huh. Wow. So that's how they were trying to keep her out of the courtroom, was say that they weren't her grandparents, so therefore they wouldn't be allowed in the courtroom.
There, we are actively working to locate this.
So this was from a day ago. So they have 2 out of 3 arrested. I don't know much about this though.
Third suspect, so we can take him into custody. Now, right now, I can't give a whole lot of information
Idaho 4.
about our means, but I can tell you there is a lot of resources that has been made available to my office so that we can find.
Okay, talk to me about the 16-year-old. I don't know a lot of 16-year-olds that can be fugitives on their own. Do you believe that A, he has help in remaining a fugitive, and B, it could be his parents who are helping him?
You know, you bring up a good
Duh.
point. He's 16 years old, so a 16-year-old running on his own is near to an impossibility. And I know for a fact it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. There are people helping him. There's people trying to hide him. Now, I'm not going to sit here on the air and tell you it is the parents. I can't confirm right now or deny that. But
It's
the fact
somebody.
is he has help. And the truth is I wish I could charge them. And trust me, if I can find a charge and knowing they're harboring him, I'll make that charge as well, too, on the individuals.
So, Sheriff, that's interesting that other charges could be ahead for those who might be harboring this fugitive. But what about other charges for conspiracy? Any other possible charges involved in this triple homicide than these three particular suspects?
Oh, I'm not going to rule out anything. You know, I mentioned in my press conference that state, for me, we are in the 5th Judicial Circuit, and I've got one of the best state attorneys in this state, Bill Gladson, and they are very proactive. They work with us in law enforcement, and then they know what needs to be put, the charges they need to put on individuals to ensure the safety of our community. So is it a possibility? There's always a possibility because, you know, these are murderers. This ain't petty theft of bubble gum from Walmart or a Jiffy.
So Thursday, 16-year-old girl. Friday, 17-year-old boy. Saturday, 16-year-old girl. I thought they were all together. I'm going to take a screenshot of this. I thought they were all together.
Store.
Oops, hold on. Didn't let me take it. Yeah, I thought they were all together. I'm just going to save this screenshot real quick in case we go into this on a certain night.
With a human being.
Going to make a cuppa.
A couple of new pieces of information tonight, Sheriff, and that is that when executing
They were all
the
found in
warrant on
about
the
a day and a
12-year-old's
half
home, you all found additional weapons, multiple firearms in that 12-year-old's home. Do you believe that any of those firearms were used in the commission of these murders?
We did find weapons in the home, and it is a good possibility that one or more than one of those weapons will be the murder weapon itself.
And when will you find out? When the testing is completed, I'm assuming, but how long until we know that?
You know, that's the process that takes a long time. A lot of people, and unfortunately, people watch TV shows, murder shows, and think it turnarounds like within 24 hours. It takes a little bit of time to do ballistics. Now, I have a lot of technology here in my office that'll get me to a certain
This
point.
guy's, I don't know. I watched a press conference a couple of days ago where he's like, I know the questions are coming, and I'm going to say this right now. This was not the gun. This was the person. He seems like he just says it how it is, like it should be said, I think. I don't know. I haven't watched too much about him, but the small clips I have, I appreciate the shit he's saying.
But it also has to go on to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement to finalize with the experts that examine the ballistics of the gun to match it to any physical evidence that we may have collected at the scene or from the bodies of the deceased.
Let me ask you about what Christopher Atkins and Robert Robinson said when they were in custody. I heard you announce that they both confessed to the killing of the third victim, and that's Camille Quarles, the young 16-year-old girl who was found in the trunk of her friend Layla Silvernail's car. Did they say anything else that was specific? And were they in the presence of their mothers when they made these confessions?
I got to think about that for a minute. I can't give a whole lot as to what they specifically said. But the last question is yes, the mothers were present to answer that one. As for the first part, right now I'm not going to answer it. Let's put it that way.
I understand. There's a lot going on in this investigation. You still have a fugitive out there who's 16 years old. Okay, there is something else. You and I spoke last night about a witness witnessing the vehicle, Layla Silvernail's vehicle, slow rolling into the dumpster where her body was thrown out and then the car sped away. That is the same witness, if I'm not mistaken, that called 911. And today I'm 16 years old. Okay, there is something else. You and I spoke last night about a witness witnessing the vehicle, Layla Silvernail's vehicle, slow rolling into the dumpster where her body was thrown out and then the car sped away. That same witness, if I'm not mistaken, that called 911. And today I think you said that's the same witness who heard all of the gunfire where you believe the killings all happened inside that car with
Inside
6 people
the
in that
car?
3 of them shot all at the same
Whoa.
incident. Do I have that
6
right?
people in the car? Holy shit. Holy shit. She was in ICU, the one that they threw out the car. That's crazy. All 6 of them were in the frickin' car when the crime took place?
Gunfire where you believe the killings all happened inside that car with 6 people in that car, 3 of them shot all at the same incident. Do I have that right?
That is absolutely correct. That witness, when they heard the gunshots, those were actually the shots that were being fired to kill the 3 victims.
Thank you for watching. Go to a new.
That's freaking crazy. All 6 were in the vehicle? I'm going to go to this link, Butterfly Kisses. Thank you for the link. I'm going to check this one out real quick. Yes, they found in the dump, but succumbed to her injuries within days. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, there's that case about the Cash App founder too. We'll get to that. This is from Butterfly Kisses. Thank you for the links. It's just crazy. 6 fucking people in the car when the crime took place. That means obviously 2 of the victims had to be up front, right? I mean, that'd be chaos if you have 2 victims in the back and 1 up front. You got bullets flying in every direction. This is nuts. And then they shot the 3 and my gosh. Well, maybe we'll be talking about that Tuesday night. Holy crap.
A 13-year-old Albany boy has been missing for 2 days, and tonight his family is worried about his safety. Tristan Wade was
This
at
is
a
from
friend's
Butterfly
house when
Kisses.
His mom went to pick him up. She says he left, and surveillance video showed him walking in the area with a woman who police believe is 24 years old. Fox 12's Anna Katayama reports.
We're here at the intersection of Interstate 5 and Lombard in North Portland. Tristan's mom says that yesterday she got word that he might be somewhere in this area. So she drove up here from Albany to look for him, but no luck. And as more and more time goes by, she's getting increasingly concerned.
I know only what the police have told me, that she's 24, that she has priors of hanging out with minors.
Brittany Wade says an Albany woman named Alyssa Thomas recently became a part of her 13-year-old son's friend group. Now her son is missing and believed to be with this 24-year-old woman. Brittany says she was told Alyssa is transient, known to sleep at different places.
So when I first
Well, I remember Elise stating that it was a wannabe gang or something like that. So I don't know if there's been any more talk referring to that, but he kept saying it was a wannabe gang.
This report, the police went and looked at known locations of like homeless camps and stuff that she's known to stay at, and they didn't find him there.
On Wednesday, Brittany says she went to pick her son up at a friend's home near Burkhart Park in Albany, but he'd already left. She says surveillance video later showed Tristan walking with Alyssa Thomas.
He's under the impression she's 16 or 17. They all didn't know that she was
13-year-old.
24 until the police were involved. So she's an adult, Tristan. It's not safe.
Police say Tristan is about 5 feet 3 inches tall, about 170 pounds, with medium-length brown hair and blue eyes. It's believed he was last seen wearing black shoes, blue jeans, and a black hooded sweatshirt. Police say Alyssa Thomas is 5'1", 111 pounds, with shoulder-length brown hair and blue eyes. Her hair was most recently dyed pink and light purple.
And they texted me and told me that I never cared, and then asked me to send money to see Tristan.
Brittany says several people have
What?
received.
Hold on. Then pay $100 if you want to see him today. If not, stop. 100? 100? 100.
Several people have received messages.
Send $100. If you want to see him, send $100. Just this, and he is going to video call you right now. You don't care. Audio call, laughing out loud.
Messages asking for money to see Tristan.
$100.
I just want him to know that we love him and that we want him to come home, that we just want him safe, that we miss him.
$100.
Police say they've received information that the two traveled to Portland and may currently be trying to get out of state. Police say the 24-year-old woman, Alyssa Thomas, has an active arrest warrant out of Albany for theft in North Portland. And
What the fuck would a 24-year-old woman be taking a 13-year-old boy? Is this some Jeffrey Epstein shit? $100. That just seems really fucking odd. And then a 24-year-old woman taking a 13-year-old boy? That don't make no damn sense. Something's fishy. Oh, this came across. Gabby Petito. Did Brian Laundrie's parents finance his life on the run? Well, I'm thinking something that's... I hope it's not what I'm thinking, but damn, it seems like some Epstein shit. If it's a female. What's her name? Ghislaine or whatever. However you fucking say it. Ghislaine. Whatever. Yeah, $100. It's like, what? That's like going after a gas station or something. You know, like, why?
But were they squirreling money away to help their fugitive son?
It seemed like it.
I'm joined by Caitlin Becker, who's a senior reporter for thedailymail.com. Caitlin, I've just transported back to that moment. And, you know, it was palpable. And it wasn't just what was going on the lawn. Social media was on fire. I mean, the internet broke on this one.
Actually, absolutely. Social media, the internet, and to a large extent, even the media itself was really unforgiving when it came to the Laundries. There was zero tolerance for their silence. Their family received death threats digitally. Cops had to come to the home several times. Brian's sister was threatened. Even his niece, people threatened to kidnap his nieces. And it really did come down to people wanting this family to talk, people wanting to know what they knew about Gabby. And you have to remember, in this time period, at one point, Gabby is missing. The next point, Brian is home with his family. She's still missing. And then he disappears, and there's a nationwide FBI manhunt, and there were just people outside. Some people showed up in golf carts. There were signs on the lawn. People actually walked up to their front door and posted flyers of Gabby's face. And one that sticks out to me that I recall from when I was originally reporting on this, Ashley, was a big poster of Gabby that said, directed at his parents, "Do you remember I used to live here?" And we have to recall that this was also Gabby's home at the time of her disappearance.
By the way, we're looking at
Such a sad
two women
case,
who were
too.
nailing in that poster with Gabby's face on it so that it would face the Laundries as they looked out the window. Remember me, Gabby Petito. And when we asked them, you know, where are you guys from? Like, just down the street. Like, these were literal neighbors of the Petitos, of the Laundries. They were livid. Just a quick question about the dates on the filing today, Caitlin.
Really? I thought most of the neighbors were upset at all the screaming and yelling and shit, weren't they? I thought that's where. Isn't that when all of these communities and stuff started passing ordinances where some of them were trying to prevent that shit from happening? I thought this is where the neighbors started having enough, and were, I don't know, maybe I'm confused with another one. I'm surprised.
We want your money transactions over 10 grand between August 26th and September 14th. There's no way to skirt that. They're saying, were you trying to help your son be a fugitive from justice? Were you going to secretly bankroll him and have it not look like it was coming from your accounts?
No.
The dates here are so crucial, and they are so telling as to what.
But I didn't think the neighbors were putting any of that stuff up, is what I was meaning. Like, because she was showing them putting a sign in the yard, and I thought that was from the protesters that the neighbors were tired of. Yeah, exactly, Justice. I thought that's when the communities started like passing laws and shit, so that way they could arrest them easier or some shit, I thought.
Tito family thinks they know about the Laundries and what they want to try to find evidence from. I mean, we know in hindsight the dates and the days where Gabby was believed to have been killed, and also the days that her body was found. But these dates cover a time where the public didn't know. We were still searching for Gabby in the middle of this, and it was actually before her mom filed that missing persons report on September 11th. So if there's large sums of money moving around during this time frame, it really does indicate that perhaps the Laundries were doing things behind the scenes that the Petito family and certainly the public were not made aware of.
Don't surprise me.
The whole thing was so unconscionable, but we'll have to watch and see. They've got 30 days to respond. So Caitlin Becker, you're officially invited back. Either before that time or on that day. Thank you. Have a good Easter, friend. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find.
Let me see. I think I have a Petito folder here. Maybe I don't. Oh, well, we'll save that one there. Let me see here. Ohio man confesses to shooting and killing female friend on accident. Full body cam. I think somebody sent this one to me. I can't remember. That's a 21-minute one. Let me put that at the bottom. We might get into that one. Let me see here. There was that case of on stepson's disappearance. Ooh, let me save that one too. We'll put that one at the bottom. Let me see here. Where's that one about the Cash App? Let me go back to this one. This is from 2 days ago. We'll work our way up.
The mystery in Ocklawaha, Florida, is becoming almost freakish. Look, it was bad when we first brought you the headline that 3 teenagers were found murdered, all of them shot, and each of them found within hours of each other, but over 3 days. So Thursday night late, Friday morning, and then Saturday. 3 teenagers shot to death and their bodies dumped in 3 different locations. One of those bodies, a 16-year-old girl, found in a partially submerged vehicle of her friend, the other 16-year-old victim. So the vehicle belongs to the first 16-year-old victim who's dumped beside a dumpster, and her friend is found partially submerged in her own vehicle.
Partially submerged?
Victim number 1's vehicle. The 17-year-old boy is found on the side of the road, and the reporting comes today that it was another kid who found that 17-year-old boy on the side of the road dead on her way to school. This kid was walking with her brother on the way to school, came across this lifeless body, and the description is harrowing. So first of all, the child, I call her a child, she was a teenager on her way to school, but she said she only wanted her first name, Katya, to be released. And she said she and her brother found this body lying on his side, dressed all in black, black shirt, black pants, black shoes, black hoodie over his head. And here's the really harrowing description: a black mask up to his eyes, covering everything but his eyes. This is the description that the Daily Mail has given from this young kid on her way to school who discovered the lifeless body. Her brother called 911, talked to the police, according to the Daily Mail. It's just so devastating to think that this is now, I mean, it's a population 1,500, Ocklawaha. It is small. This is going to rock this community. Everyone's going to know someone who knew those kids, if not knew them themselves. So our Marky Martin retraced the steps of these killers and where they dumped these bodies to see if she could pick up on any clues. And we wanted to bring that to you so that we could take you to this location. Here's Marky's report.
Hey everyone, we're pulling into Ocklawaha, Florida, where these heinous crimes occurred. Population 1,500, by the way. And I'm about to show you where each of the 3 bodies was located, and you're about to see just how close in relation to one another.
Oh my gosh.
So this is the first location. This is the general area where that first body was located. This is where 16-year-old Layla Silvernail was found, right here, somewhere along Southeast 183rd, kind of a main thoroughfare right here through the community, but found on the side of the road, actually alive, shot in the head, eventually transported to the hospital where she died after being declared brain dead. But the interesting thing is, Layla's car was not found with her in this area. Her vehicle was found elsewhere with the second victim, and we'll go show you where that car was found. And then on Friday morning, this is where that 17-year-old boy was found, not too far away, also dead of a gunshot wound, lying here on the side of the road. You can see just how overgrown this part of the community is, right here behind a few neighborhoods, pretty remote area to dump that body. Okay, so Ashley, this is where Layla's car was found. It was found partially submerged in this body of water. And inside that car, that's where that second victim, that second 16-year-old girl was found. She had also been shot. She had passed away inside that vehicle. So this is how close that was. So Ashley, my big takeaway from visiting each of these three locations is that they are close. You can get to each one from the other in about 10 to 12 minutes. But they certainly feel like deliberate locations.
Oh,
Each
there
of
it
these
is.
three spots is in a pretty
Ocklawaha. Let me write that down. Ocklawaha. Ocklawaha.
pretty remote area. So that's where the three bodies were found as police continue to work on this investigation. Ashley.
Marky Martin, just fantastic work. I had a very
Right.
different image. So thank you for that. Really sort of transported me into where each of these.
Wow. You know, just going to school thinking it's a normal day, and then all of a sudden that's what you witness. Yeah, we might be covering this thing Tuesday night. I'm kind of leaving it open to see. This has been something that's been going around as well, a 26-year-old Minnesota mother that's been missing. This has been going around for the last few days as well. Thank you everybody for hanging out. Just kind of going over some of these other things we don't usually get
Tonight,
to.
a family's desperate search for a young Minnesota mother of two who police say mysteriously vanished last week, and they say she could be in danger.
We believe Maddie's disappearance is involuntary, suspicious, and we are all concerned for her safety.
26
Madeline Kingsbury.
Believe Maddie's disappearance is involuntary, suspicious, and we are all concerned for her safety.
26-year-old Madeline Kingsbury was last seen at her home in Winona, about 115 miles southeast of Minneapolis. Her sister speaking at a press conference Wednesday.
Please help us find Madeline. The children need their
Aw.
mother. We need our daughter, our sister, our aunt, and our best friend back.
Investigators say last Friday morning, Kingsbury and the father of her children dropped the kids off at daycare around 8 a.m. and they both returned home. The father of her children, who was questioned by police, then left around 10 a.m. in their 2014 Chrysler Town and Country
Okay.
minivan. And when he returned around 1:30, police say Kingsbury was gone. But in that 3.5-hour time frame, police say a vehicle similar to the couple's minivan was caught on surveillance, leaving the area and then returning. It's unclear who was behind the wheel.
We believe the van remained parked in the driveway of Maddie's residence from 1:30 p.m. on. Nothing to date has indicated that Maddie left the residence on foot or in another vehicle.
Police say Kingsbury
So they're
never
saying it's the same vehicle as the families?
2014 Chrysler Town and Country minivan, and when he returned around 1:30, police say Kingsbury was gone. But in that 3.5-hour time frame, police say a vehicle similar to the couple's minivan was caught on surveillance, leaving the area and then returning. It's unclear who was behind the wheel.
We believe the van remained parked in the driveway of Maddie's residence from 1:30 p.m. on. Nothing to date has indicated that Maddie left the residence on foot or in another vehicle.
Police say Kingsbury never showed up for work, and what they found in her home even more concerning.
Inside the residence, investigators located Maddie's phone, the jacket she had been wearing earlier in the morning, along with her wallet and ID.
Police calling on the public for help, issuing maps and asking them to focus searches on these specific areas, check out any buildings and property for disturbances, and scan home surveillance video for anything unusual.
We will remain loud about this and continue to advocate for Madeline any way, shape, or form.
Her family, grateful and hopeful.
This community has really rallied around us, and so many wonderful people have traveled from all over the state and beyond to come and help find my sister. And we're beyond grateful, and we're truly touched.
Police say a large coordinated search is in the works for Friday, and the family has announced a reward of $50,000. Police have not named any suspects or persons of interest in this case. We asked police if the father of Madeline's children has been ruled out as having anything to do with her disappearance. Police tell NBC News that's not information they can share at this time.
Yeah, I bet not. That sounds all too similar to a lot of these cases that we cover, unfortunately. Wow. Okay, this is that Cash App creator. This happened a few days ago. Bob Lee. I don't know anything about this one, but it's something I do want to check out as well. Man, it sounds all too familiar.
Just devastating to think about what happened. It's also really freakish, and a lot of people are seizing on it politically to say San Francisco's a mess, there's so much crime, and this murder is a really good example. I'm not going to politicize this
As
tonight.
Lee sought
I just want to
help.
get to the bottom of it. And Caitlin Becker has been working this story. She's the senior reporter for the dailymail.com. Caitlin, first of all, I'm going to draw people to the Daily Mail because you've got some amazing surveillance video on your website about what happened out in front of that apartment building. To walk me through just
Fix all
how
your pop-ups,
incredible
Daily
this
Mail.
fight for life was that Bob Lee put up.
Well, actually, what you'll see in this video that we exclusively obtained of Bob Lee in the immediate aftermath of being stabbed shows you pretty much survival instincts, what they look like on a person who is really fighting for their life. The video is graphic. It is difficult to watch. We have done our best, to blur out some of the blood, and we actually obtained 2 different videos taken from separate vantage points where you see him try to flag a car down in the street. His hands are, covered in blood. His midsection is bleeding. He's clearly very, very injured. I mean, he's gray and pale. And the car pauses for a few and then drives off.
You can see
and then
him
you see
pale
him walk
on the
across the
video?
street, get to the outside of the Portsmouth apartment building, which is a luxury high-rise. Apartments are for sale, 2 bedrooms, something like over.
So white Camry. And then he made it 200 feet.
$1.175 million for one of these buildings. For one of these apartments. It's a very high-end building. He gets to the front and you can see him from the vantage point of inside the lobby of the building. There isn't anyone in there. The reception desk is empty. There isn't, a doorman, even though the building purportedly has 24-hour security. I'm not sure where that security was in the moment. You see him reach out for the call box, presumably to maybe get someone's attention, and then collapse. He's on the ground using his phone, calling 911 because we know that 911 call came in from him around that time. And then you see another car drive by and you see a man who had collapsed because he could not stand on his own 2 feet, muster the energy to fly up with his hand and chase after this car for help. And the car didn't stop.
Just so upsetting.
It's
I do want to
devastating,
bring up
actually.
something that I think is important because everybody's obviously asking, did he know the person? Is it random? The police chief, Bill Scott, will not say whether it is a random attack or not. However, there is a quote, and I think, help me if I got this wrong, help someone stab me, that he repeatedly screamed, help someone stab me, which is typically not someone you know. If you're yelling someone stabbed me, you don't know who it is. If you know who it is, you're like, Bob Jones stabbed me. So it is thought, just based on that reporting, that this is random.
Yeah, that quote seems to be pretty accurate. We don't know what his 911 call sounded like going into 911. However, we have heard what the 911 dispatchers were dispatching around to law enforcement, and the dispatcher said, we have a guy on the phone who is repeatedly screaming, help, someone stabbed me. Didn't say, a name, didn't give any sort of indication about someone stabbed me, multiple people stabbed me, a tall person stabbed me. It was very vague. It was just a someone. It sounds random to me, but like you said, we don't have any details from police to really indicate one way or the other what
Have a good
who
nap.
this
Happy
perpetrator
Easter
was.
again.
Yeah, I'm just going to direct our viewers right now to click on your website, dailymail.com, and take a look at your
Yeah,
exclusive
just be
video.
prepared for all the pop-ups on that shit. Oh my gosh. That one's crazy as well. The dude was just looking for any kind of help and nobody was offering it. This came across Alinka Castaneda. It must be some News Nation special. Maybe we'll do that Tuesday night as well. Let me see here. Stopping the demolition. Let me see. So this is one from a couple days ago. This is only 18 seconds. Man.
Back in 2016, a Renton mother, who was later found dead, was also last seen attending an Mariners game. The remains of Ingrid Line were found in trash bins across Seattle. John Charlton was convicted of murdering her. He is now serving a 25-year sentence until 2043.
That's why you got to be careful. Oh.
Tonight, we have another exclusive set of details.
This is why you got to be careful. This woman just went to a freaking baseball game. When you go by yourself, ladies, don't think that you're just safe when you get dropped off and you get picked up. Too many of these things happen at concerts, sporting events. Too many of these things happen in those situations. Please find a friend to go with. Always have somebody else with you.
2016, a Renton mother, who was later found dead, was also last seen attending a Mariners game. The remains of Ingrid Line were found in trash bins across Seattle. John Charlton was convicted of
Thank
murder.
God they fucking were able to convict and catch the person who did that. You just hear about these way too much and they don't get enough coverage. Please, ladies, please be careful. Bring mace. Have something with you if you need to attend on your own. Let me see here. What else do we got? Where was I at? It threw me somewhere I wasn't. Yeah, it's always some kind of defense. One of my friends went to a concert by herself, thinking she was safe, getting dropped off and picked up. And I'm like, oh my gosh, are you crazy? You don't even know the person you're sitting next to. You know what I'm saying? And then if you got to go to the bathroom, you don't know if you're getting followed. So many assaults take place at those places because it's obvious to these people that the woman's by themselves. All right, let me see here. We did watch something on the grandparents. Extended interview. That might be interesting to listen to. Let me see. We'll add that to the work folder. That's the announcement of the arrests. Can Lori Daybell get a fair trial? Why not? You don't think so? Let me see what else we got. We might go into that one. They think that little boy's deceased now. I'm going to stick to this topic here, that Cash App founder. Let's see what else we got up here. 3 days ago. New mobile app helps identify child abuse. Timeline investigation. Pretty much watched that. Anna Walsh, there was a special from a week ago. Let's see, that's from Fox. I got so many videos. Let me go down to where to go. Can Lori Daybell get a fair trial? Court TV. Happy Easter. What's up, Grizz? It's crazy. Frickin' all these weird ass cases. Oh yeah, I was gonna go to that other Bob Lee one. Where was that? There it is. This was crazy too.
This is no doubt a tragic loss and frustrating and confusing for a lot of people as investigators focus on finding the person or people responsible. Former CIA officer and FBI Special Agent Tracy Walder is with us this morning. Will it be critical in this early stage of the investigation for detectives to determine if this was a random act of violence or if perhaps he was targeted because of who he is and perhaps his wealth?
Well, thank you for having me, Marnie. I actually do think that's pretty critical because the reality is public safety. That's something that we have to think about. And if this was targeted, then perhaps, there's not as much of a risk to the safety of the public. Also, if he was targeted, do we need to be looking at other folks within his circle that could have been targeted too? So I do think that is going to be one of the first things that they are going to have to kind of parse out in regards to this.
So there's a lot that we don't know. Detectives are keeping it close to the vest. We're hearing there is potentially some surveillance video near the time was running down an alley asking for help. It was 2:30 in the morning or so. What are the reasons that detectives wouldn't release that to the public? Might it not be helpful for people to see exactly what was going on?
So I actually think it's the reverse. I think the problem with that is they could be tipping their hand if they do have any suspects. And if a suspect is on that video camera, which I do believe that digital evidence is going to be very helpful in this case, as we know, San Francisco is a densely packed city. There are a lot of surveillance cameras, and we don't want the public right now if the police do have a suspect, because it could cause that suspect to go further underground and make it more difficult to identify them.
Because it's a high profile case, somebody that a lot of folks knew, does that put more pressure on investigators to come up with some answers soon?
I think it does, but I think as a whole, it's putting pressure on the city of San Francisco, if you look at it in its entirety, because what we're seeing, and I know Alex mentioned this before the break, there seems to be sort of a discrepancy in terms of San Francisco's crime rate on paper per the FBI's uniform crime reporting data, and then people's lived experiences within the city. And so, putting this under a microscope right now is problematic. Homicides are up about 17% in the city. And really what they're having an issue with is this recidivism rate of violent offenders who are being released from prison and then having to go back. That's up about up to about 70%. And that's incredibly high. And so I think that's going to be important in this case as well. And the fact that it is a high profile individual really kind of shape
evidence that crime has no zip code. I mean, this is just an example of an error, not it has 30 in the morning.
Crime has absolutely an area that I think within San Francisco does have a lower violent in general. It's frequented by restaurants and businesses, and so truly, crime is really knows no boundaries. That's the reality, and we have to be vigilant wherever we are.
You know, it was interesting. My colleague Ashley Banfield was talking about this on her show last night, that there have been several other deaths, 5 or so in the last year or more, of tech executives, those tied to cryptocurrency. In a case like this, that has to be something that detectives look at. I will say, with the caveat, none are connected, all are different circumstances, but is it just a coincidence?
No, I think you're right, Marnie. Like you said, we don't know that any of these are connected. We don't have any of that information. But I do think in a situation like this, where it is an area that does have, for the most part, a relatively low violent crime rate, this is a tech executive, this is a billionaire, this is someone that is a public figure. I also think if you look at the type of crime, stabbing sometimes tends to be more personal. However, in the intent, in this crime, if the intent was robbery, then a stabbing could make sense here. But I do think that's something that we have to look at, particularly if we're seeing sort of an increase in this. As you mentioned, there's been 5 in the past, just in this year alone.
I think about the families first in every one of these situations. How closely are detectives working with the family to piece together any potential digital evidence that may exist, the path and behavior of the victim leading up to this horrible crime?
No, I absolutely think of the families. I think in this case, I think his digital footprint is going to be incredibly important. And I would imagine that they're working very closely with the family to gain access to all of his personal devices that he had on him, retracing his steps. That's going to be incredibly important, because then that's going to show them what city surveillance cameras they should be going to really identify who this person may be. So I would imagine that they're working incredibly closely with the family at this point.
And Bob Lee, by all accounts, people who knew him say he was a wonderful leader and person, a family man, husband, and father to 2. It is just tragic.
Yeah, and if they could, like that one lady from the Daily Mail said, with the surveillance, they had 2 angles, and that if they could tell that he was pale from the surveillance video, they got to have something on a suspect, you would think. Yeah, last night was fucking funny as shit. They ganged up on me again, Grizz. Oh, I know. I had to mute myself too. I love being able to have those nights. I really do, because we got to have some laughs while we're talking about all this stuff. Key pieces of evidence we have is surveillance video. So this is back to that Florida shooting here. Just covering some stuff we normally aren't going to be able to cover, just with all these specific shows we got coming up.
We welcome Marion County Sheriff Billy Woods on Morning in America right now. Thank you so much, Sheriff Woods, for being here. As Marky said, you believe this is gang activity or gang related. You've even said wannabe gang. So what evidence do you have that's making you come to that connection?
Good morning and thank you. Well, it's the tips that we're receiving that keep coming in. We're getting tons of tips. We're getting tons of information. And y'all are correct. In the beginning, the rumor mills out there about it being a serial killer. Of course, we have all the information. And your viewers, I want them to know, I want to tell people what we know, but we just can't do it. We have to ensure the integrity of the case, the integrity of the investigation, so that we do have a solid case when the state takes it, so that justice is served. Now, here's the thing. I was able last night to release this information of the evidence in which we do have. We have multiple cell phones. We have cell phone data. We have DNA from the vehicle. We have latent prints from the vehicle. Now, yesterday I gave out a picture of the vehicle and a time frame between Thursday at 10:48 in the evening till Saturday morning to 1 p.m. Now, the key pieces of evidence that we do have is surveillance video just prior to the event and then moments after the event. Now, that's coupled with our first caller who witnessed the victim's vehicle slowly strike the dumpster that the first victim's body was near. But the witness also heard the gunshots. And I can't tell you how many shots. I know that I'm being questioned about that. That's probably what you would question me. And I'm not going to divulge this information because the integrity of the case has to be ensured. So
I appreciate his honesty
right
too.
there. absolutely rules out a serial killer because the event was all isolated into one. And the gang information, wannabe gangs, neighborhood gangs. It's not to the level we in law enforcement classify a gang as an organized gang. It's like the mob of the 1920s when they had their structure, how it was laid out, what they were to do. These are typically neighborhood gangs or juveniles. They're trying to create their own little family unit and be so. Now, unfortunately, gangs are not known for going out to church on Sunday and preaching God's word, but rather they go out and do criminal activity.
Well, and for your community, I grew up in a very small rural town of less than 1,000 people. I know folks that don't lock their cars in their homes, even today in 2023. Your community has been described as that, a place where people felt safe. They didn't lock their doors. How surprising is it to you as a law enforcement officer that there is this gang, or is that commonplace there? And should people be locking their doors?
Well, you should always be locking your doors because, you know, yes, this is a quiet community. Ocklawaha, that community of wonderful people out there. It breaks my heart. It also infuriates me that I have groups like this coming in there. Now, is it common? No. Now, do you
think it's outside? Do you think it's an outside influence?
No, do not.
You think it's locals?
I do.
Okay. Sheriff Woods, I know we're out of time, and you did answer a number of questions that I would have gotten to. Appreciate you understanding.
Local neighborhood gang. Hopefully I can try out my other webcam tonight. We'll see if I can get it steady or not. Let me see. What else do we got here? 70-year-old man sentenced to life for 2 cold case murders in Talmadge. New mobile app helps identify child abuse. I don't understand.
Half the deaths in the U.S. from child abuse are caused by evidence being missed. A new app called LCAST works to save lives by helping identify potential abuse in children.
LCAST? Let me see if there's a link in here. There is not.
Actually get this in the hand people
LCAST.
where those misses are being made, and then to decrease
Oh,
how
whatever,
often we
jeez.
miss abuse just because we don't know how to interpret the injuries that are before us.
Dr. Mary Clyde Pierce partnered with Louisville-based company Slingshot to create the app. It starts by asking a series of questions about the child. Then a 3D diagram comes up showing you the areas of bruising that can be highly predictive of abuse. From there, you can enter the child's injuries and symptoms. Creators say it can also alleviate suspicion by presenting clinicians with data.
I actually know some people who, a family that had their child taken away from them wrongly, and it's because the symptoms of this kid were misdiagnosed. They thought, man, this kid's being abused. And this was a very young infant.
So you're supposed to so what? You're supposed to show them the app and say, "Here, look. It's not abuse."
The app tells you if the child's injuries are likely due to abuse or accident and presents you with the evidence
No,
to
I
back
could
it up.
see a family member that's worried about a family member being concerned or something, or maybe a friend or a neighbor, but to say that the person, no, look on the app, the app says it's not.
The severity of injury with the severity of risk. That's one of the biggest mistakes we see. Where people say,
Thank
"Oh, it's just a bruise." Well, when is a bruise enough?
Ooh, I don't know.
Now, that app does not store patient data, and it is available in the App Store.
Oh, so you're supposed to be like, hold on here. Okay, there you go. Like you're showing your insurance card or something. What the heck? That's from Louisville. New details. I'm sure we... tornado. Let's see. Anna Walsh. I do want to cover that some night. That's a case we covered a long, long time ago. And Never really heard anything about it. We did hear about a week or so ago that the husband's being charged with her murder. Oh yeah, we do have some. What is this? Teen accused killing neighbor for TikTok fame? What is this?
Potentially. Tensions reached an all-time high back on May 4th,
Court TV
2020,
is always so
when a
loud.
fight broke out between defendant Zach Latham and the Durham family.
See you
During
tonight,
that
Pam.
altercation, Latham stabbed his 51-year-old neighbor multiple times, ultimately causing his death. Now he's being tried for the crime of manslaughter. But the question for the jury here
Later,
is
Jinx.
whether or not this homicide was justified. It could potentially be legally justified if the
love.
jury finds that Zachary Latham was validly defending himself. Something else interesting about this, the whole incident was captured on camera. We're going to show it to you now. We want to warn you before we play it for you. It is very, very graphic. Get the kiddos out of the room, and then we're going to talk about it on the other side.
You better back up because you're not going to like what's coming out. I promise you.
What?
No. No. Back up. Big. Get off of my property. Are you going to jump? Property. Get off of the property.
What the fuck? Whoa. What the fuck just happened there? I'm not gonna watch that part, but I'm gonna watch what the fuck led up. What the fuck?
About it on the other side.
So who was recording this?
I promise you, you better back
The
up.
mom?
You're not gonna like what's coming out. I promise you. No. No.
So they're waiting to get off their bikes until this guy shows up?
Back out. Back up. Big. Get off of my property. Are you gonna jump?
So who's the one that got stabbed? So the girlfriend was recording this? Is that the lady that's talking in the background, or is that the mother? I assumed it was the mom. And which person is the one that was stabbed? There's three guys. You got this younger guy here that was on the smaller bike. So you got
I promise you, you better back up because you're not gonna like what's coming out.
So
I promise you. No. No.
So you got guy in the black t-shirt, guy in the gray t-shirt, and then older gentleman with the hat. Which one was it? You came across it on TikTok? I can't tell. I'm thinking maybe it's the guy in the gray shirt. Because he seems to lunge first. Alright, I'm only going to watch it one more time. And then we're done with that graphic stuff.
Get out from my property.
Okay, so he keeps saying, you got a problem, you got a problem. Starting to puff up. Yeah, that's what... So this guy right here, I assume is the one that was doing it. He's already bringing his arm back, getting ready to start. Looks like there's some tools on the ground or something. He just swiped right there. So he missed. Whoa, now I believe the older gentleman that was in the truck. So maybe it wasn't the guy in the gray shirt. So he fell back. Guy in the hat is maybe going. So guy that was on the taller bike is right here. Guy that was on the smaller bike is right there. I'm wondering if the gentleman in the white hat So it looks like the gentleman these guys are coming to rush. There's already blood on the car. Was the victim. Okay. Yeah, there's already blood. So there's none on there right now, obviously. Oh my gosh. What's up, Skittles?
Hi. Okay, so the guy with the grey t-shirt, he is the neighbour of them. Now, apparently this has been going on for a while, where they've been having quite a few fights between each other. The lady that's screaming, that's her property that they are on.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, it gets kind of a bit hard, but yeah. The guy with the grey t-shirt, he's their next door neighbour, right? he had a mate with him, obviously, and obviously the girlfriend as well. And they both went in there. Him and his other mate, they both went in there and attacked. They attacked the neighbor's partner, and the neighbor is the one that's screaming. So yeah.
So, okay, so are these two guys
The
right
guy,
here?
yeah,
Are
the
they
guy with the
kids?
the guy with the grey t-shirt. They're probably like teenagers, but
Right.
they're the next door neighbors of them. Yeah.
So they come up and show up to his house.
Yeah.
Because the
Because
neighbor.
they've been arguing off and on quite a while about certain stupid things, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are they next door neighbors or neighbors
Next
from
door
down the
neighbours,
street?
yeah. I think next door neighbours, yeah.
And so do you know what they were going, like, why did guys show up in a truck, and is that out there why this gentleman
No,
showed up in
not
a
yet. Not
I'm
that
sorry,
I know
what?
of anyway.
No?
Not that I know of.
So this is the gentleman that was the victim.
And I think that's her son or maybe her partner. I'm not sure though. The guy that guy there.
I mean, I thought it was interesting that they both stayed on their bicycles until the gentleman pulled up and got out of the truck. I mean, they're still on their bicycle right here as this gentleman's even with the truck. They're still chilling on the. So was it the parents' issue or this guy's issue with is he teen accused? So he's a teenager as well.
Mm.
And so this guy already knew they were coming over, so he has. So their girlfriend starts recording, and he's already got a knife ready.
Mm.
And he used this to get TikTok fame. I don't understand. I don't. So was this set up, or is that what they're? They're accusing him of setting it up because he knew. That's why he had somebody recording.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like it was like it had already been planned.
Right. That's very odd. So is this a trial that just started?
Yeah. It's just started just recently.
This is crazy. It's weird that I don't know. I'm gonna have to see if there's any more. I'm sure there is more videos on this, and they'll probably talk about it more. It is an 11-minute video, but that's crazy. I'm definitely gonna have to check out more of this trial because that sounds very odd. And if it was a setup. I'm going to go ahead. I'm not going to play the actual event taking place. We'll get to what she's saying afterwards. Wow, that was disturbing to watch, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I'm going to get past that. And it all took place right there in that small space.
It's dreadful, isn't it? Let me bring back in my guest and talk more about this. In Magnolia, Texas, legendary homicide detective Phil Waters, and in Chicago, Illinois, criminal defense attorney and the host of the Defense podcast, Bob Mata II. So we were talking before the break about who filmed this piece of video. And I have to thank our control room for telling me. I was unaware, and I think a lot of our viewing audience may be unaware. It was a defendant's wife who filmed this.
Whoa.
And it's
So it
also
was
my understanding she's on the list. She's going to be called by them to talk
Wait a
about
minute.
filming it.
So wait a minute. The defendant's wife? So that means the teen was married already?
Holy.
What? Maybe
Holy.
she got it wrong.
Yeah.
Maybe she got it wrong.
About who filmed this piece of video. And I have to thank our control room for telling me. I was unaware, and I think a lot of our viewing audience may be unaware. It was a defendant's wife.
Yeah, somebody
who
please
filmed this.
check.
And it's also my understanding she's on the state's witness list. She's going to be called by them to talk
Well,
about
yeah,
filming
she
it.
was there.
Why? Why was she filming it? You know, we know the prosecution is coming out. This Zachary Latham was trying to be a
19.
TikTok star, that he's filming his neighbors, he's acting up, disrupting the peace, being socially unacceptable, all of it because he wanted to be TikTok famous. And the more he did it, the more likes he got on TikTok. Now, why his wife was...
Oh, so they're saying that he was using TikTok to harass his neighbors and film it to get TikTok views. So he was pretty much the antagonist in the situation, and that is what... So that would make sense how it would be set up to where you would record it and you would have a weapon ready, would be because it was part of another one of the stunts, and you probably had received a lot of threats in the past already before it got up to that point, and then that's when they were going up to confront him, but they didn't realize that it was a setup. He called the neighbor's wife Karen, the family, and it was his wife filming it. The family came into their property. That is interesting. They did come onto your property, and when you could see when we watched that, the younger gentleman in the gray t-shirt, as soon as the older gentleman showed up, then hopped off the bike. And then as they were getting close to the garage, the gentleman in the gray t-shirt was the one getting all puffy, asking if he had a problem. And so as you're watching that, I mean, regardless if you're starting some shit with somebody, if they're coming at you like that, do you think that he has a good case for a defense, for defending himself?
Well, no, because he kind of went onto their property first, so really they've got every right because it comes to trespassing.
The victim came in hot, but the TikTok guy should have gone inside. Very true.
Yeah,
But I'm wondering, I'm wondering if... Has anybody watched this trial so far? Have you watched it?
I watched the first one of it, the first day of it. Yeah, the little
What's
bits
it?
and pieces of it, sort of thing.
What's it sounded like? Does it sound like he has a defense in this situation, even though he was an antagonist?
Well, I mean, there was a first incident where the neighbor, the woman, was in his face, like he was in his car, and she was basically like, you know, having a go at him and stuff like that. So that sort of antagonized it, I think, as well. You know, she was all up in his face, and yeah, so I don't really know. I mean, yeah.
I'm definitely gonna have to check out more of this trial.
Yeah.
Let me see here.
Zachary Latham was trying to be a TikTok star, that he's filming his neighbors, he's acting up, disrupting the peace, being socially unacceptable, all of it because he wanted to be TikTok famous. And the more he did it, the more likes he got on TikTok. Now, why his wife was filming it, not so sure. But let's talk about how this could cut both ways for
It
the
is
state
interesting.
and for the defense. Bob Mata, I want to
Even
go
though
to you
he's the
first on this, 'cause you
antagonist.
brought up the point about the filming. What do you think, please?
I think that it's very interesting in terms of, because look, with self-defense, we're not talking about his intent. They went with, with manslaughter. it's a heat of the moment
manslaughter.
type thing. So they decided to go with the lesser charge as opposed to, intentional homicide. So which is easier for them. But in terms of self-defense, they still have to try to get into the mind of Zach Latham, because they need to determine whether or not it was reasonable in his mind to think that this guy or these two guys were actually going to cause serious bodily harm or death. And it had his actions, his response to them had to be reasonable within that mind frame. So then when you factor in this video where we know for a fact that this kid had about 4,000 followers on TikTok, that this was a saga, that he was continuing to post these videos. It's all part of why these neighbors are over here. It's not just the driving of the cars in front of the house.
See him, he's
right at
already,
the entrance. It's the fact that he's posting everything online. He's invading their privacy in terms of their lives, and he's turning it into a spectacle. Which
And why wouldn't you, if you see a knife, why wouldn't you just turn around and get in the fucking truck? I don't.
Ultimately leads to this. So the question then becomes for me, if I'm the defense, is that a concern for me that the wife is filming the entire time? Because to me that would indicate, look,
like a setup.
Zach said, I need you to film this. This is going down here. They're coming. And then when you're watching this
Maybe she didn't know though, right?
She's sitting there screaming and still filming it instead of calling 911. To me, it's inexplicable. And it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out with the jury, because I just cannot understand.
Do you think the girlfriend or the wife knew, and that's why she kept filming it, or did you think that she just didn't know what the fuck was going on and was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe this is happening"?
No,
I would
think
think
she
somebody
knew.
would shut it off or throw the phone, right?
Yeah, I think she knew.
You think she knew? I think
Yeah,
she
because
did too.
you don't just all of a sudden have your camera up and like start filming. You'd have to know what's going on,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, it
Mm.
seems like she knew too.
Understand why she kept filming. This portion of the video where Mr. Durham, actually, he's got blood all over him. He's still upright. He's still walking. Starts walking out of the garage and then decides to turn back and go back in. So
Whoa, hold
I
on.
don't know. There's a lot of questions applicable, and it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out with the jury, because I just cannot understand why she kept filming. When you see this portion of the video where Mr. Durham, actually, he's got blood all over him. He's still upright. He's still walking. Starts walking out of the garage and then decides to turn back and go.
So he starts walking out after there's already blood, and then decides to turn around and go back in?
No.
Mr. Durham, actually, he's got blood all over him. He's still upright. He's still walking. Starts walking out of the garage and then decides to turn back and go back in. So I don't know. There's a lot of questions with the video for me as far as how it's going to interplay with the affirmative defense of self-defense, and we'll see how it plays out. But it's interesting to say the least.
Yeah, the fact that he was already bloody and then decides to turn around and go back in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see caught up in the moment, but then if you're in shock, I mean, it was hard to see because there was so much stuff going on. I would have to watch it again to see exactly how focused the person was recording on the actual situation. I guess that would tell me a little more if somebody was caught up in a moment or actually really trying to video what was taking place. I would just assume that if you're in shock, you'd be froze. And so maybe the camera angle after everything starts to take place, maybe that is somebody holding the phone where they are froze. I don't know. I'd have to watch it again to see the actual angle of the camera when everything starts taking place. I suppose we can do that again after this video, just to kind of go through it again real quick. Were the sons coming after him at that point, or where were they? Well, the two younger gentlemen were on the bicycles. They show up first. Then they're still on the bicycle as the older gentleman in the truck pulls up. After the older gentleman in the truck gets out and starts walking, then the two younger gentlemen hop off the bikes, and the younger gentleman in the gray shirt, as they're getting closer to the garage, starts to take the lead in walking up there, and then he starts saying over and over, "You got a problem, you got a problem, you got a problem," and then you see the defendant swipe at the gentleman in the gray t-shirt. I assume no injury took place because I didn't see any blood there. And then the gentleman with the hat on the left, then you can see the defendant turn to the right, his right, and that's because the gentleman with the hat is then coming after him, and I believe that's where he gets swiped, where there's blood. And then I think the defendant starts to back up in between the two cars. That's where the blood from the guy in the hat gets on the white car. And then I think that's when the lawyer states that that's when he starts to go back in. And then you see the younger gentleman, black t-shirt in front, gray t-shirt all the way in the back, and then they're in between the two cars. I don't remember it was just crazy to watch, so wasn't really focused too much on the angle, but I am going to watch it here again at the end of this video. I do want to see what the angle was after everything took place, and I think that would kind of give us a better idea on if somebody is caught up in the moment or if somebody really was trying to record this crap. Almost looked like the person videoing was running and trying to stop something. Okay. You just can't go on threatening, and it's a very interesting defense. You know, even though the antagonist stories take place, it is very interesting. You are going on somebody else's property. You are coming up to them in a threatening motion. It is going to be an interesting trial.
There is. I feel like this could just go either way because, you know, is she
Right.
filming just because, you know, she wants to have what she said to the neighbors recorded, you know, who knows? Or is it for a more sinister reason? Is it for this motivation that the state says exists for her
I don't
husband
know.
to be
Anybody know what
TikTok
state
famous?
this is?
I want to play a clip before I go to you, Detective Waters, for you to take
I
a
mean,
look at.
because she
This is
could have easily been recording it in case, you know, a fist fight took place or something, you know. Yeah, does anybody know what state this took place in?
No.
I don't know. It doesn't say anything. Let me know if you guys know.
This is where Gage Durham, who is the decedent's son, first witness for the state, is talking about why they didn't leave the property when they were asked repeatedly, you know, by the wife, the woman filming, and the defendant.
It's a good
to do
question, Amy. That's what I'm wondering.
Whose truck is this?
That's my dad's.
Okay, so that was the gentleman in the black t-shirt on the taller bike, I believe.
Back out. Back up.
You've now been told at least 2 additional times to back
Oh,
up.
wow.
Yeah.
You were just told again to leave the property.
Oh,
right?
wow.
Yeah.
And again. You testified on direct. Your dad kind of motioned towards Billy and said, "You got me," right?
Yeah.
And at this
So
time,
the
it was
dad motioned. So that's when the gentleman in the gray t-shirt took the lead, I guess, is when the dad looked over to him and said, "You got me." Okay. This is a very informative video. I'll share the link with you guys.
You testified on direct. Your dad kind of motioned towards Billy and said, "You got me," right?
Yeah.
And at this time, it was your understanding that Billy was going to be physically confronting Zach
I could assume.
at your father's direction.
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming.
And is this your father's hand, your father walking alongside? You knew you were not allowed on that property, right?
Yes.
It was a private residence
Oh, wow.
and you were not welcome there.
Yes.
Your father knew that he was not welcome there and he had been asked to leave.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Billy knew he was not welcome there and he had been asked to leave.
Yes.
And As you've already testified, Billy was there with your father with the purpose of physically confronting Zach.
Once we arrived, yeah.
At some point, after that footage ended, your brother came up and made sort of a gesture like he was going to be punching Zach, right?
Yeah.
And it was at that time that Zach swung the knife or taser.
Yeah.
And he did not make contact with your brother.
No.
And at that point, your dad charged Zach and continued far back into the
That's
garage.
what it looked like, yeah.
Yeah.
And you and Billy joined in this physical confrontation.
Yeah, as well as Moses and Dylan.
You threw punches. You've already testified that you got to verbally respond so that it records, just so you know.
Okay.
So you threw punches.
Yes.
You already testified that you at least on one occasion kicked Zach.
Yes.
You, in fact, even stomped on Zach at some points.
Yes.
Your father at one point had Zach in a chokehold.
Yeah.
Your father started to exit the garage at one point and then turned around and joined back in the attack, right?
Yes, because Billy was in a headlock by Moses.
And still, you didn't leave the property.
No.
Wow.
Okay, again, that was, of course, from the cross, as we can see.
Wow.
You know, not leaving somebody's property when you don't have permission to be on there, that's a trespass. That's minor. This whole thing could have been so minor. Maybe not even made it into the court system. But yet, here we are. We have a man dead in a fight in which nobody has won. Let me bring back in my guest, Detective Phil Waters and Attorney Bob Mata. Detective Phil, let me pick your brain about this. The fact that the defendant's wife is the one filming this video, definitely part of this, because she is saying no permission here. You don't have permission, leave the property. She's saying it over and over again. But at no point does she stop and call police.
Well,
What
there
do
you go.
think, hearing these
We don't have
facts?
to watch the video again. That makes sense.
Well,
Why ain't you calling
I
911?
think that her purpose was to document what was happening.
Okay.
I don't know if the ulterior motive of a future TikTok post was part of the formula, but my sense is that that's what her purpose was in videoing what happened. As she continues on, you know, people do strange things in given situations, and she may have been so caught up in what was happening and what she was witnessing that her reflex was just to continue to video rather than get on the phone and call 911. So I can understand why she did not go to the 911 route, because she was caught up in that moment of documenting what was happening. Now, if this was a state's witness, well, I tell you, just looking at this in isolation, they just presented the defense for Zach, and it'll be interesting to see what the outcome is in this trial.
Yeah, well, and that's a great point.
I don't know. Maybe we should then. Was she documenting it, but not actually? Let me see. We'll go to it. I'm just not going to play the sound. And I'm going to throw the graphic warning up there again real quick. We'll just kind of look at the angle. Do we think our phones, do we even think of our phones that way anymore? I'll speed it up a tad too. So this is playback 1.25, just so everybody knows. Okay, so she's... Okay. I don't know if she's... Yeah, it does look like she is kind of caught up in the moment. You're not standing back at the end of the car videotaping the whole altercation. It's mostly holy crap, how is that guy still up walking around doing stuff? That's where he was walking out and then came back in right there. So he starts walking out right there. And if there's all that blood, I don't... So did he pass away like at the crime scene, or did he pass away like days later? I don't understand how this guy like stops, turns around, walks back in, and right there you can see them. They have Zachary on the ground, and that's where you saw the gentleman. He was stating that he was stomping on him. Right there, you can see him doing it right there. How did this gentleman pass away then? If yeah, to me it seems like if you were trying to videotape it like that, I think you would have been standing back, getting the shot. I think they played body cam footage in court and maybe a 911. Really? Yeah, if you guys have any links for this case, and if you can send them to me, please do. Thanks for hopping in, SRB. Right, like thinking maybe she was doing the responsible thing and at least recording some of it.
Mm.
Wow. Yeah, I definitely need to get some more videos on this case and trial. I could see it going either way, honestly.
Yeah.
Wow. Very disturbing. Do they have the body cam out and the 911 call? Probably, because this was shown from what was playing in court. Let me add that to my work folder there. Let me see if I have anything else on that. Nope, I don't. Yeah, I'll have to look for some stuff. All right, let me go to the bottom. See what I got sitting here at the bottom. Yeah, I'll probably just save the other stuff for later on in the week, and I'll go ahead and shut it down this afternoon and get ready for this evening. We're going to have a big episode tonight. Are you going to be hopping in, Skittles?
Yep, for sure.
Tonight?
Yep.
Cool.
I can't wait.
Make sure it's charged up, and yeah, well, I'll be on at 6:30 Central, 7:30 Eastern. We'll be covering Stephen Smith's case, the evidence, some of the full report. And then I'll just say hi to everybody, and I'll probably open up the panel about 7 o'clock Eastern, 7 Central, 8 Eastern. And then we'll start getting into the evidence. It will be a graphic episode, just for a warning for anybody that has triggers. It will be a graphic episode, so if it does create triggers for you, you might want to skip this one tonight. So thank you for hopping up, Skittles. Thanks for helping me figure out some of this stuff. Crazy case, crazy trial.
For sure.
Yeah. Thanks for hopping up last night, too. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Amy. Yeah, definitely need to look up some more stuff on that. That might be in a Tuesday show. So we'll be doing Idaho 4 Monday night, Delphi on Thursday. So I'll see you guys later tonight. And thank you for hopping up, Skittles. Appreciate it.